YouTube, all those other good funky joints out there, wherever you might be watching the live stream from. Tonight is Friday night, and I hope everybody's doing all right. It's Friday night. Where's my props thing on it? Oh, yeah. Okay. Friday night. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night, and the feeling's right. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. There it is. Oh, what a night. But it's also man's night too. See, I'm an equal opportunist. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me out there talking about I'm a male feminist and all that. No, not me. It could be ladies' night and man's night all at the same time. So hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. The links are always below in the description area. My primary platform, of course, is YouTube. So if you're checking out the stream from another platform, please subscribe over to YouTube so you can also become a part of that family, because we have a rip-roaring good time over there with the chat. Have a great time over there. So I'm not going to, go ahead and belabor the hour. We're going to get into what we're talking about. But before I do any of that, I got to get loose. Now, let me do a quick sound check. Can y'all hear me? 1 2 1 2. Check one. Check 1 1 2 1 2. Okay, everybody, you hear me? All right, let's go ahead and get busy. I don't know if y'all can hear me or not. I just assume you can. So let's go ahead and get busy. I gotta get stretched though first. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Throw your fists up and show some respect. Gorillas in here, gorillas in here. So now, guys, before we get into the content tonight, let's go ahead and let you know that I have a Kevin's Corner store. You can go ahead and check out at any given moment. Man, I tell you, it's hot up here in Ohio. I don't know where y'all from, but it's getting a little hot up here. Yeah, I'm a little toasty right about now. Look at me. I'm sweating and everything, Now I look like some chocolate that's been let out in the sun and it's sweating. All right, let me shake it up. Anyway, so I do have a corner store. You can go ahead and check it out and purchase any of the merch. And also, you can support the channel through my Cash App, my PayPal. All of those things are listed in the description below the video on YouTube. Now, with that being said, guys, we got to start off like we always do, talking about the dirty Dems, man. The doo-doo-dumb dirty Dems. And this day, we're going to start off with a fan favorite, y'all. Normally, we start off with creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe. Normally, we start off with Joe. But guys, tonight, somebody done trumped Joe. She's just as corrupt as Joe. But I'm talking about, who, monkey paw hands, mush mouth, vagabonds, nasty Pelosi. That's what I'm talking about. She's going to set off the show tonight with her corruption and her evilness. Okay, but before I go to line with my mush mouth, I have to lubricate it and wet it down with my medicine. I love my medicine. Don't look that way at me, you peasant. Oh, yes, that's good. That's good, Nasty. Now, where was I? Here we go, y'all. Y'all ready for Nasty Pelosi's her new lie, her new theory? So apparently, guys, the way the Democrats solve all of their issues and debates is using McCarthyism, accusing anybody who disagrees with them of being a Russian agent. How you like that? Try that on for size. Try to have a legitimate, now I done smeared my glasses, try to have a legitimate debate with a Democrat and just count the seconds of how long it takes for them to go ahead and label you either as a racist, a white nationalist, or some type of Russian agent, working with Putin. Now that is so dangerous because, see, what you're really saying when you disagree with someone politically, and you say, you know what, you're being used or working with the Kremlin, you're calling them a traitor. That's what you're doing. You're calling them a traitor, and they sling that mess out there all the time. And Nancy is the best at it. No one's nastier than Nasty. Let's see what she got to say about all of this criticism, coming from their own voters, the radical left that they created, The students running around harassing Supreme Court justices. See, and this is the problem with this Marxist conflict theory. It is only as good as it is being able to be pointed at your enemy. But once those radicals turn on you, then it become like the pit bull that you used to be chuckling about when it be growling at other people. See, back in the day, somebody get him a pit bull, start popping it with a towel, feeding it black pepper, hot sauce, making it mad, and they get a kick out of having a mean dog that will go after everybody else. But one day you come home and that bad boy ain't smiling at you, he's growling at you, sitting there like, you think I forgot about all them pops to the face with that towel, huh? I got something real for your butt and knees teeth. See, it ain't funny then. So now Joe Biden and the left, the Democrats, are getting destroyed on this whole Palestinian-Israeli conflict. And Nasty has a message for all of those folks that's showing up at her house harassing her. So let's go ahead and check it out, see what she's talking about.
And people should know this, and especially try to say this to all the people in front of my house in the middle of the night and the rest. The president has been advocating for humanitarian assistance to the Palestinians.
Yes, that's right.
The Republicans in the House of Representatives have held it up.
Yes.
And yet, they hear these people go out there and say, oh, genocide, Joe, all that, not to repeat what they said, but nonetheless, he's the one who's been advocating for it. The House of Representatives has held that up, as you know. But I don't know.
That mush is just a going. Yeah, that mush is mushier than ever. So here she is, lying off grip, coming out talking about something. Now, let me just get something straight, everybody. It is not Creepy Sleepy Joe who is the president. Apparently, what? It's Trump. I mean, it's the Republicans. Do they have all the power? I don't understand. Because she's blaming it on everybody but Joe. See, that's because of the Republicans won't sign this. They won't do that in the last administration and everybody else except for Joe. Now, unfortunately, those voters and radicals out there that's supporting Hamas and Palestine, they're not buying it. They are not falling for it. So let's go ahead and see if she's able to spin this mess somehow and watch the hard-hitting reporters come in and check her when she goes a little too far on her accusations.
If they're progressives outside my house, I don't even know who they are outside my house.
It doesn't matter to me.
Protesting his handling of the war. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know my protesters. I've represented my district a long time. I got the biggest vote of any Democrat in California. They said, oh, you're not reflecting your district.
No, yeah, you're reflecting them, all right, because California is off the chain. It goes to show the craziness out there that they would vote for Nasty Pelosi. Mush mouth, bag of bones, monkey paw hands, Nasty Pelosi. Yeah, it reflects the that you are a product of your environment. If they're voting for you, they ain't even get mad about Paul and that hammer. Yeah, they didn't get mad that Nasty Pelosi came out and lied about that. Had a reporter fired apparently because he called out the truth. Only to find out Paul got that hammer. He got the hammer. And she never came back out and explained that after talking about it was a white nationalist and a white supremacist somehow that broke in the house and assaulted Paul. All right, but let's continue trying to follow that monkey paw going every which way. See, that's one of her tactics. She distract you with a whole bunch of this. So let's see if we can go ahead and listen to her without our faces and heads doing this with the monkey paw. Here we go.
No, I got the biggest vote of any Democrat in California. Some of these people are, I don't know who they are. Some are.
And you know what? It doesn't matter who they are. They're just peasants. That's what they are. They're riffraff. They're poverty-stricken lower-class citizens. That's who they are. I don't find it necessary to try to relate to these people, memorize their names. Why would I do that? They're beneath me. They're scum. Well, what? Am I still on? You can hear me? Are you going to edit that? Well, you're scum too. Now let's get back to me lying with my mush mouth. Let's continue. Because she's like, I don't know who they are. No, you know who they are. You know who they are. What they aren't is a bunch of MAGA folks out there. That's what they aren't. You're in California, baby. So let's go ahead and see how she spins this.
The usual suspects, but largely they are. I don't know what they are. But nonetheless, what is their agenda? Some of it is spontaneous.
Y'all see that monkey paw? You see that monkey paw? Some of it is spontaneous. Yeah, man, you ain't gonna get me with the monkey paw trick again. Hi ho, the monkey paw. I ain't falling for it.
Sincere and real and organic. Some of it, I make a distinction between AstroTurf and grassroots.
Oh, you mean like all of those protests that took place during the Summer of Love? That was just organic. Just happened to be organic. I mean, busloads of all of these riff-raff young teenagers just coordinating all of this, showing up exactly at the right moment, almost before George Floyd was even dead. I mean, the buses might have been on their way, en route, before that man even passed away. I had to get the buses down there. I had to get down there so quick. Who's the lady in the U-Haul handing out all of the riot gear and the helmets and the shields and stuff? I wonder, who coordinated that? Who paid for that? Huh? Yeah, it's amazing how Antifa and Black Lives Matter would show up like buzzards all over the place. And it's also amazing how all of these students on college campuses, all of these folks out in the middle of the street blocking stuff up there in New York and SO-ran Democrat cities, it's amazing how they all seem to be able to coordinate these as well. Could it be things have turned? Could it be outside sources financing these useful idiots to go ahead and disrupt our society on behalf of Palestine / Hamas? Because that's who really they're really fighting for, the Hamas. I saw an interview the other day. They asked a couple of the girls out there standing out in the middle of the courtyard, what are you here to protest? What are we here to protest? I think we're, So now somebody has coordinated it against you guys, putting a pressure on y'all. And because Democrats have no values, no moral compass, all it takes is a threat to their power and they will change it just like that. They're all over the place. It's like, all right, what's politically advantageous for us? So now we need to hate Israel? Okay, let's hate them. What? Oh, that we need to love? Let's love them. I thought we need to support gay marriage? Cool, we're on it. What? Oh, we need to go ahead and support, all of this other stuff. They will support whatever makes them feel like they can acquire power. So here she is trying to brush off these riffraff showing up at her house for some reason.
And some of it is AstroTurf. So who benefits from it?
Uh-oh.
Donald Trump.
Oh, nasty. Nasty is just as nasty as she ever been. Now, who benefits from it? Donald Trump. How? This is Did you see this old hag had the nerve to go ahead and say, and while I'm at it, let me see if I can slide in Donald Trump and a little bit of Russia. So, guys, somehow these radical young adults, they're being manipulated by Donald Trump, perhaps, maybe. You think they're all inspired to go out there and harass all these Democrats who at this point have the majority of the power, all because of Donald Trump? So now she want to go ahead and turn it back to Donald Trump and basically let all of these people think, well, wait a minute, even though we hate Joe Biden and we supporting Palestine and the Democrats are in power, do we continue to do this and maybe cost the Democrats the election and then Donald Trump wins? And well, hey guys, call it off. Call it off. We don't want Orange Man bad in. All right, let everybody pick up your tents. Let's exit Nasty Pelosi's front lawn. That's what she's hoping. Trying to scare them and say, look, we might be monsters, but there's a bigger monster. And if y'all keep doing this to us, y'all gonna mess around and make us lose, and then you're gonna get Donald Trump. It's up to, and then for good keepings, look who else she says benefits.
Who benefits from Donald Trump? Putin.
Putin is trying to bait the trap. I need that cat smacking her on top of the head. Frap, frap, frap. Putin is trying to bait the trap. So now Putin got his hands in everything, man. She and the Democrats are making Putin sound omnipotent, omniscient. How in the world can Putin get involved in almost everything? So Putin benefits off of it, guys. Even though Putin is supporting Joe Biden. He's like, I'd rather Joe Biden get in there. You know what I'm saying? He's a full-blown Muppet. Yeah, he's a Muppet in motion. So now she somehow has linked Donald Trump to Putin. Now, in my opinion, this is the worst type of politics. To number one, throw your voters. These aren't Trump supporters. They will throw whoever is against them under the McCarthyism bus. You can be Biden voters, but if you turn on them, then you know what? You're a traitor. You're supporting Putin. You can be Trump supporters. Of course, we all supporting Putin. We're all supporting Putin. And according to the Democrats, we're all supporting Putin. We love him. We love Putin. We love Putin. But that's what they do. So I wonder when Democrat voters are going to wake up and realize we're all fair game if we disagree with the Democrats. They don't really love us. They love what we can do for them, which is keep them in power and remain stupid and ignorant. That is it. But if you start bucking up against their power, your usefulness has been terminated. And guess what you become? A Putin sympathizer. You become the traitor to the country. You become a white nationalist. You become a sexist, xenophobe, homophobe, whatever. You might as well come over to the MAGA side. Yeah, because see, they're throwing you right into the same category as us. We've been called, Putin puppets. We've been called it all. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to come up with something new pretty soon. So now it's Putin.
There's, in my view, a connection.
Now, wait. Here's my question. Why isn't everybody on that set going, excuse me, what did you just say? Did you just say somehow Donald Trump benefits off this and Putin benefits? Could you elaborate on that, Nasty? Could you maybe fix that mush mouth to explain? Because we would hate our audience to walk away thinking there's a conspiracy out there between Donald Trump and Putin and your radical behind protesters. We would hate for our audience to think that. But what did they do? Sat there. I see how that could possibly be. Unbelievable. But she ain't done. You think Nasty's done? No, she's not done because she's the nastiest of them all. Let's go ahead and see.
You know what the protesters and the hecklers are saying about Joe Biden, the label genocide, Joe.
Genocide?
Could support for Israel cost Democrats the election this fall?
Well, it's interesting to me that you use that term because that's what we see at 3 o'clock in the morning outside of our house, flashing as long as this room, a sign that says that. And he has been, as I say, the force for humanitarian assistance to him. He now is calling for the ceasefire. Who's resisting the ceasefire at this point is Hamas. Remember, Hamas is a terrorist organization in our view. Hamas has in its charter the destruction of the state of Israel. So this is more complicated. In terms of your question about
Here we go. Y'all see that nastiness kick in? Let me buckle up because it's about to get nasty here. Oh, yeah. So in terms of, here it comes, y'all. Fixing that mush mouth
election. It's in Putin's interest for, what's his name?
All it takes is one follow-up question. What? I'm sorry. Could you please explain how that is in Putin's interest? That is it. You blow Nasty to smithereens right there. She would have to put a spell on you to stop that one. You know what? I'm going to sprinkle some Eye of Newton Batwing on you. How dare you embarrass me with a question that I'm not able to answer? So now, here she is talking about it's in Putin's interest. And nobody said, how? See, that's why they go on friendly networks like this, where they can throw out these crazy, wild statements and conspiracies, and nobody stops. What? That's what I would have did. How does this benefit Putin? What does Putin have to do with this?
Win. And therefore, I see some encouragement on the part of the Russians of some of what's going on.
How? I see an encouragement on the part of the Russians about what's going on. What? You want to know how? Well, you know what how now, brown cow. Now get out of my face, you peasant. See, so now apparently then somehow Putin is encouraging these trained Marxist radical leftists to go ahead and harass Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats. That's how. So no evidence whatsoever. Just throws it out. Now, can you imagine if Trump would have got on TV and even suggested something so asinine? they would have, you know what, I'm going to have to stop you right there, Mr. Trump. There's no evidence. There's no evidence of that.
I trust the sincerity of many of the demonstrators. It's organic, it's spontaneous, it's real. But some of it, I think, has a Russian tinge to it.
A Russian tinge to it. See, now, watch my hand. You're getting sleepy. Okay? Believe what Nasty says. That's her superpower. Using that monkey paw to hypnotize folks. Because you got to be hypnotized to believe that lie. That's a hypnotized lie. That ain't your regular lie. You got to be hypnotized to believe that lie. So she's up there dropping hypnotized lies on us, y'all.
In terms of the election, people have to decide.
Uh-oh. Now here comes the icing on the cake. We're about to frighten y'all to death. Y'all realize what's at stake? Everything. Everything's at stake.
Save the planet?
The planet? You see the hand? Yeah, froze it right there. Save the planet. That's the monkey paw in action right there. So first things first, you gotta vote for saving the planet. Everybody got that one right. So that just blows up all of us Christians because we done took our faith away from God and the prophecies about how the planet's gonna end, and we done put it in the Democrats. Yeah, apparently Trump's gonna blow up the planet, not God. The prophecies, just throw them out the window. Throw them out the window. That's why I don't get caught up in climate change and all of that stuff. I'm like, look, man, we ain't going nowhere until God says it's over. All right? We're not destroying the planet. That's going to all come down to him. And yet you got folks, we got to save the planet. So here she is saying that if we vote for Trump, the planet could be at risk. What else could be at risk?
What's his name doesn't.
What's the name?
Do you want to save your...
Wait a minute. Why does Nasty keep calling Trump what's the name? Could it be that she's suffering from some mental decline? Could it be she don't remember Trump's name, or she just being nasty like she always is? Talking about some, what's the name's name? I won't say it. I won't dignify it. That's what she's doing. But hey, if this was Trump, they wouldn't be able to see that. They wouldn't be able to read into what she's really doing. They take everything Trump does literally. When he talks about Joe Biden and he says basically Obama, look, Mr. Trump doesn't even know the difference between Joe Biden and President Obama. He's brain dead. He's suffering from, and I'm saying we all know what he meant, just like I know what she meant. But I played their game sometime just to slap him in the face with it. Here we go.
Personal liberties, women's right to choose, LGBT.
That's when that mush mouth got twisted. That lets you know these folks don't really support that mess. All these little letter agencies and groups and stuff like that. They don't commit this to memory. It ain't muscle memory. That mush mouth have no muscle memory for that mess. So the LGBTQ, the -3, yes, those people. Anyway, if you want them to be in danger, vote for Trump.
TQ, do you want to protect the children from gun violence?
Oh, God. She's throwing that spaghetti on the wall, y'all. Gun violence, and if you want to save the canaries, you have to vote for Joe Biden. And what about the grasshoppers? And don't you believe the children are our future? Teach them well and let them be the way. Show them all the future they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride. Yeah, this woman's throwing all of that shite on the wall. That's right. Let's continue hearing her because I'm getting sleepy following that monkey paw around. She's starting to make sense somehow. The monkey paw's talking to me.
Do you want to protect our Constitution, our democracy?
Our democracy.
That's really what's on the ballot in addition to those two names.
What?
So we just have to win. As I say, democracy is at stake. In my view, civilization as we know it today is at stake.
It's the end of the world as we know it. See, it's my rock voice where they sing out from here and not from there. It's the end of the world as we know it. So now it's the end of the world as we know it. End of civilization. Now, what's so disappointing about watching that garbage is that nobody sitting there with that lady, her managers, or the people in the back, nobody came out and said, listen, I think you need to go ahead and ask her to clarify. Yeah, because she just said that this is going to be the end of democracy. You don't think that's over the top? Could you ask her to be more specific? End of democracy, end of society and civilization. So Trump's going to ruin the whole wide world, just like he did the first time, remember? Because they said when he was going to get in, he was just immediately going straight to World War III. As soon as he sits down in the Oval Office, okay, it's good to be here. Listen up. Send out the nukes. There it is. But it never happened.
Election, should the other side prevail. It's going to be an interesting time. We've made a decision to win, and we'll make every decision in favor of winning, which means message-wise, mobilization on the ground, and money-wise in order to make that happen.
Well, I got news for you, Nasty. You can't win, can't get even, and you can't get out of the game. People keep saying things are gonna change, but they look just like they're staying the same. That's what I got. A message for you, Nasty and Creepy. So, yeah, she think they're gonna win, and you know how that rolls. The only way that's gonna happen is some shenanigans go on. So, let's go ahead and move to the real shenanigans, which is the Muppet walking around somewhere. They got a mobile Muppet. Here it is. Oh, boy. And look what they're saying through the Muppet. Now, this is the stuff that burns me up. So all of their devices that they use to manipulate the audience and the voters and stuff, all of their accusations. So now they got stuff in their bags of tricks like Putin. That's a go-to. We just heard that one. Trump. We just heard that one because he's going to end. He's going to end. Society as we know it. Was going to end the world. He's going to end the world. And then, of course, their special tactic, which is dividing our country through accusations that demonizes their own people, false accusations. And the one that disgustes me the most is calling everybody racist or white supremacists and stuff like that with no data to support it or back it up, which makes me believe that the intel community is on board with this because they know there isn't any data to support white supremacy is the greatest threat to the homeland. But give the Democrats this talking point when you see people like Raggedy Ray go up on Capitol, the rise of white supremacy is the greatest threat, and Mucus, and what's the other dude, Mayor Garlick. All of them go up there and they say this stuff, and I'll be wondering, where's the evidence? I'll be thinking to myself, hey, you should have ample amounts of video footage of white supremacists running around the country. Where do they all meet? Where's the white supremacy meetings? How do you identify white supremacists? See, these are all questions that we should be asking, but people take it for face value because of the propaganda and the gaslighting coming out of the Muppet. Look at this garbage, but we're about to find out. We did it, yo. We're about to find out what's really dangerous.
Intelligence community, domestic terrorism from white supremacists is the most lethal terrorist threat in the homeland.
Calm down, kid.
The most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy. Hey, yo, Green. I feel like I'm Tony Green, too. Hey, yo, Green. I feel like I'm Tony Green, too. From Bill Bixby to some incredible hope.
Unbelievable. I can't stand when they do that. You know why? You know why I hate it? Because it straight up degrades racism. You're using one of the most horrific times in our history where the white supremacists were bold. They weren't hiding it. That's right, y'all. Yes, man. That's right, man. It's me, Bob, the stereotypical white nationalist Trump supporter, man. That's right, man. Back in the day, we ain't have to be all undercover. We ain't have to be down here talking about some, listen, man, you go to your nice job, pretend like you like the blacks, but you really don't. See, yeah, the blacks need to be in the back. You understand that, man? Yeah, but you got to smile in their face all the time. You won't take their place. They're black stabbers, man. They're black stabbers. So that's how you got to act, man. Back in the day, we didn't have to hide, man. Put our nice crease sheets on our heads, jump on our horses, ride around singing our song. Yeehaw! Yeehaw. That was the name of the song back then. It's called Yeehaw. Yeah, man, we sing our song. That's what we used to do. But now we got to go underground and stuff because it ain't white, man. It ain't right what they're doing to whites. Now, God bless you, only if you're white. Now, let me go back to my corporate job and pretend I like the blacks. Yeah, so where are all of these white nationalists? I'm looking for them. Honestly, that's the crazy part about it. I want to see video footage considering the amount of talk we hear about white supremacy. I want to see that full-blown summer of love type video footage. That's what I want to see because I got a lot of footage, but it doesn't involve white nationalists. And yet they're saying white supremacy is the greatest threat to the homeland. So basically, any white person that does not support the Democrat Party and its globalist agenda, they're white supremacists. Not the white man right there. Yeah, the white man in there looking like he should be, all you got to do is throw the sheet on top of his head and he'd blend right in. That guy, not him. Yeah, he doesn't have a superiority complex. Nope, even though you heard him talking about Barack Obama, the first clean cut African American and all that stuff. Not him. Not him. The guy who said, I worked at a pool and that's the only way I learned about roaches. Around those black kids, I guess. Yeah, boy, I'm glad I'm not one of them. Wouldn't want to be sleeping with the Brown brothers now, would I? Yeah, I just learned about them. Then I went back to my nice house. Yeah, because I'm superior to them all. I'm a white supremacist, but I got to act like I love minorities and accuse other white people of being a white supremacist. So here we go with one of the most damning tactics in politics ever. And I'm going to expose it. I'm going to
White
expose
supremacy. White supremacy.
So he has made fighting white supremacy part of his campaign from day one.
White supremacy is a poison.
The biggest
No, you're the poison. You're the poison. See, you're poisoning our society by pushing this poison into it. Yeah, you're poisoning the minds of a lot of minority young men and women. Because when you start pushing that crap, you think they're going to focus on success? They're going to always blame every setback on white supremacy. And yet y'all claim y'all love black people by keeping them in some stinking thinking. Anything that happened, oh man, I didn't get to start yesterday on the football field. Coach benched me because he's a white supremacist. Anything. Cop pulled me over and I was only speeding, 80 miles over the speed limit because he's a white supremacist. You give people a crutch and you make them focus on a boogeyman instead of their future. And these Democrats know exactly what they're doing. They're purposefully pushing this into the minds of young black Americans and others. And the sad part is many minorities, black for the most part, have bought into this garbage. And I'm saying, wait a minute, y'all, use common sense. If this was the greatest threat to the homeland, how many white supremacists have you encountered? When I think of greatest threat, I think of being able to see them almost everywhere I go. Now, you go up to New York, you can say the greatest threat to New York is illegal immigration, because guess what? They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Hey, see, there are some things you can say, yeah, that's a problem, because I can see it. But when you say something is the greatest threat, and I'm going, honestly, I ain't never ran across a white, where do they, can we get one? They like a groundhog? I mean, is it like a leprechaun? We got to catch one? Are they that stealthy? It's unreal. So basically, they bust that out just to scare folks and just to use it to bludgeon their opposition. And then you got this useful idiot right here.
Biggest threat to our democracy is white supremacy and domestic terrorism.
Then get your butt out of there. See, this is my thing. All those white supremacists should be busting up there on the set of The View and dragging you out with that horse hair on your head and say, get your butt back on that plantation, girl. Up there making all that money that the white man should be making. See, how do you do it? How did you dodge all that white supremacy, Sonny? Yeah. How do you live in your white neighborhood surrounded by all of those white supremacists? None of them go ahead and bust out the pitchforks, show up in the middle of the night trying to get you out of there. None of that happens. None of that happens. Okay. But yet you're talking about the greatest threat to the homeland's white supremacy. Name one. Oh, Donald Trump. Something stupid like that.
How do you come together when it's homegrown terror?
Homegrown terror. Oh boy, man. So burning down Capitol buildings, or at least trying to with federal officers in it, that's not terrorism. Taking over several blocks out there in Seattle, that's not terrorism. Blocking streets and bridges and stuff for political purposes and all of that stuff, that's not terrorism. Showing up at Supreme Court justices' houses. Yeah, see, that type of terrorism is allowed, political terrorism, because it comes from the left. And then they get mad when it switches and turns on them. Now Nancy Pelosi is calling these folks Putin puppets. Putin puppets. At first they were just mostly peaceful protesters. Now, someone go get me the footage of all of us conservatives, using violence to get our political agenda. And I'm not talking about J6, that garbage. You know how I feel about it. I'm not going to go through it. I'm not going to litigate it right here. But there's a lot of discrepancies with that right there. Other than that narrative, go find me footage of white supremacists doing the stuff that we watched, Antifa and Black Lives Matter do. So I'm going to have to remind Creepy Sleepy and all of these fools what real domestic terrorism look like, or what is the greatest threat to the homeland? Because I'm sure that all of these folks in Chicago, I'm sorry, let me say it by its real name, Chicago, when they wake up in their predominantly black neighborhoods, they're not waking up going, man, I sure hope I can get to school today and hide and run from those white supremacists out there. When their kids come home from school and say, Mama, can I go out and play on the playground? No, honey. We don't want you to get shot by accident on the playground by a white supremacist. I'm sure that's not what happens. I'm sure in the hood, nobody's going, all right, now everybody lock your doors because the white supremacists might break into our house and steal our radios and stuff like that. Because that's what was happening in my neighborhood when I was growing up. Not white supremacists was breaking into our cars and houses and stealing from us and chasing us and wanting to beat us and all of that and mess it out. That wasn't white supremacists. That was the brothers. So let's go ahead and see how this white supremacy have infected Oakland. SO-ran
Restaurants
city.
across Oakland are closing left and right.
'Cause white
Many of the
supremacy?
victims of the pandemic and crime. Now, the chef and owner tells me he's managed to survive both so far and hopes to stay in the city that he loves.
It's everything. It's crying, it's rage, it's anger, it's frustration.
Yeah, man. So see, there we go, y'all. There we go. Where's bruh when I need him with that gold tooth? Yeah, fool. It's me, man. Bruh, I'm back, man. Hey, listen, bro. Hey, man, I feel the brother right there, man. I'm pretty sure, man, all those white Supremes up there. Wait, is it Supremes? Supremes? Anyway, man, I bet you all them white nationalists up there, man, in Oakland, man, trying to shut the brother's stuff down, man, just because he black. Just because he black. Yeah, they got their foot on the brother's back because he black. Got him down on the ground because he brown. Know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead, man, and listen to how all these white nationalists, man, been trying to shut the black man down. Yeah, bro, I'm with you, bro.
All emotions for Imani Greer, the chef and owner of vegan restaurant Roasted and Raw at 14th and Jefferson in downtown Oakland.
That's right, man, because you know white supremacists don't like soul food, brother. Know what I'm saying? They ain't ready for the mac and cheese, man. They ain't ready for all that canned yams. They ain't ready for that, man. See, that's the problem. Yeah, they don't like black folks eating all that fried food, man. So let's go ahead, man. I'm waiting for them to show all the footage of those white supremacists harassing the brother.
He's moved several times, but for Greer, this is the fourth time his business has been hit.
A couple guys, young guys broke in. They basically hit the glass and then they just go like the same. It's almost a routine.
A similar burglary happened.
Were they wearing sheets, bro? Were they wearing sheets? That's what I want to know. Did they have swastikas on them, bro? That's what I want to know, man.
But in March, just as the restaurant was celebrating record lunch sales, and the restaurant's been hit twice before that. The common thread?
Unfortunately, these are all...
Hold up, bro, before you even say that, man. Yeah, these fools tripping out there in Oakland, man, messing with the brothers. So let me call up some fella. Hey, man, yo, Leroy. Yeah, go get Junebug. Call up Cockroach. We going to Oakland, bro. The white Supremes is up there messing with the brothers, man. Okay, all right, I'll meet y'all, man. Hey, yo, bring the deuce in the quarter, all right? Peace. Yeah, man, let's go ahead and head out there and protect this brother from all these white supremacists.
4 of our break-ins have been young black males. They have been my own people.
Which is a what?
Uh-oh. I better take the rubber teeth out and take all of the slang out of my voice. Right now, I'm embarrassed. I bought into the fake narrative that white supremacists is the greatest threat to the homeland. Now I got to go into disguise. I don't want people to know that I fell for the okie doke. So now I got to take out the gold, speak with the King's English, because had me running around there about to posse up, go out there to protect the brothers from all the white supremacy, and come to find out that the real threat is not the white supremacists.
White supremacist group.
We all are implicated in society's failures right now. Either you're a part of the problem or you're a part of the solution.
And the Democrats are the problem. Yep, and they want no solutions.
We ran into Oakland City Council member Carol Fife as she picked up a breakfast sandwich. She's a regular customer, and the restaurant is in her district.
Oh. California is a difficult state to live in.
Is it?
California is a difficult state to live in.
Can't be that bad.
Oh! Look at all those white supremacists! Look at that! Now they all went out and invested in costumes so they can look like black people. This is crazy. Look at that. Wow. White supremacy everywhere. Yeah, they got to chain up all of those ice cream freezers so those white supremacists won't break in and rob them. Interesting. White supremacy's in training. There you go. White supremacists in training. Yeah. See, that's one of the goals of the white supremacists. It's just to tear up property for no reason. You didn't know that? You know, it used to be, let's go ahead and get rid of the black man, take our country back. But no, not now. So apparently, it's just, let's go out in the streets, break car windows for no reason, and jump on top of cars like animals. Now, I'm embarrassed as a black man, and don't get me wrong, there are other young adults that appear not to be black in there too. But that just goes to show the deterioration of our youth and a product of certain environments. You can be white, black, Asian, or Hispanic, whatever you, but if you grow up in a certain SO-ran environment, most of the time, Democrat-ran environment, where they done shoved all of y'all in there, it creates stinking thinking that forms a whole bunch of young people into acting just like animals. What I'm looking at there looks like somebody pulled a vehicle into a cage with a whole bunch of chimpanzees and they all have to like, that's what it looks like. And if I was a parent and I got a glimpse of that dude on top of that windshield in that red, his whole body would be colored red from blood. I would sprint down there, wouldn't even take the car. Hey, Kev, why don't you just take your man truck? No time. All the way down there and snatch him out of that red jumpsuit. Yeah, the jumpsuit would still be on top of the car stumping and he would be gone before the jumpsuit even falls. Wear his tail out in front of everybody. And look at these fools. It is full-blown Mad Max out there. Welcome to the jungle. Oh, look at this guy. I remember I featured him on my show. Broad daylight, stuffing all those phones down his pants, and walked out in front of the cops. Oh, wait, yeah, there's a cop, though. Wait. Oh, he can't stop all those white supremacists. There's too many of them. Wow. So they done swapped out their hoods and their white sheets for black mask and sneakers and the hoodies. There you go. That's to throw everybody off the scent. See, the white supremacists don't want people to know that white supremacy is still in effect. See, so they're like, we got to change up our game. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and change the uni and go with some baseball caps, go with some hoodies, some sagging pants, pants hanging off our butt, and some sneakers. Throw on a black mask and run in there and start just smashing stuff to show them how white supremacists get down.
Okay, let's think. What could have caused this?
White supremacy.
White supremacy, y'all. That's what could have caused it. Oh boy, I tell you, Democrats, man. And it's funny how they ignore all of that footage, all of that. You never hear the Democrats come out and show these clips out. Yeah, I was appalled by watching all of these young adults in neighborhoods that we claim we love and we care for and all of that stuff. I was appalled by seeing this, all of them tearing up stuff and breaking into stuff. Man, it's embarrassing and it's a shame. And the Democrats do not care. You know why? Because keeping all of these societies like that is keeping them from becoming problems for the Democrats. They're problems for everybody who lives in those communities, but they're not problems for the Democrats because they are uneducated. They're ignorant. Yeah, we don't care if they're breaking into your stuff, robbing, shooting, killing black folks, black on black crime. That doesn't bother us. What bothers us is a Kev from Kevin's Corner. What bothers us is a person who actually is saying, wait a minute, I'm black, but I don't think like that. Yeah, I'm black and I can see you guys using us and keeping all of those young adults on that plantation. Rope it off, keep them in that area right there, and keep them out of Nasty Pelosi's neighborhood, and we'll be fine. As they run around talking about the greatest threat is white supremacy. And let's go ahead and embarrass the Muppet a little more, because I'm not done with the Muppet. I'm not done with the Muppet.
Sense, I don't know why we're surprised by Trump. How many times does he have to prove we can't be trusted? Billions and billions.
Billions and billions of times. How many times he has to prove that we can't be trusted? Man, Democrats are the most untrusting, politicians in the world. Now, granted, we've been tricked by some Republicans too. Don't get me wrong. But that Muppet comes out and throws us a wonderful soundbite. And it's true. Yeah, we cannot trust the Democrat Party one bit. I mean, they are so clear. They're not even one of them groups that you can see a little bit of confidence that you can trust them in. You're sitting there going, man, you just seem like a slime ball. You're that guy that as soon as I pull on the car, like, hey, how you doing? Hey, I like the way you look. Hey, what are you looking for today? I got you. Whatever you need, I'll make it happen. And you're going, you seem like a sleazy salesman. No, not me. Hey, listen, you might want to check this car out. Well, can I go ahead and start it up? No, why do you want to do that? You don't trust me? You don't trust me? Let's not start it up. How do you like this? Look at that. It has air in the tires. You like air? You like air in the tires? Yeah, me too. So look at that. It has a windshield. It has a windshield. Now, how much you want to pay for this car right there? You're going, you're a sleazy salesman. You're not even discreet about how untrustworthy you are. That's what the Democrats are. So let's go ahead and finish hearing Joe embarrass himself, because I don't trust he's running the country like this.
He concluded that our significant climate investment will, quote, help turbocharge turbocharge the emerging global clean energy economy. I was reading their quotes.
Of course you were reading the quotes, because that's what you're confined to. You're a Muppet, okay? There's always a hand up your butt. That's why that guy is out there talking about some turbocharged. The way I was reading the quotes, just like he did the other day when he come talking about some, 4 more years.
I was reading the quote. Sorry. Remember this time when a bunch of women decided to just laugh at Joe, but they put a bunch of women behind him just to laugh at his ass?
Yeah, see, they had to do that, Benny. They had to do that. Benny! So they had to put a lot of women behind him because they knew he's prone to gaffes. There you go. Because he's biting, dun, dun, dun. He's a gaff machine, oh, baby. So now, him and his gaffes, and they we need laughs to cover up the gaffes.
It's time for celebrating extraordinary women who have made their mark in history.
Here comes
strengthen our nation. And like Jill,
cue the laughs,
the first lady, the first full-time lady, the first lady who works full-time.
Here it is. Cue gas laughs.
Being the first lady as a professor. Today, folks, when folks see shovels in the ground in these projects.
Did he double up the folks? Today, folks. And folks need shovels up to dig up the progress. And this is what we've produced. This is where we're at in America. We are 100% the laughing stock of the whole globe. Got to be. considering we were at the very top. See, all eyes on us. That's what makes us embarrassing. If we weren't such a powerful nation that everybody used to look at with envy and respect, maybe we can go under the radar with having a raggedy dude like that walking around. But because we're America, we're in the fishbowl. Everybody is watching this as this dude's walking around talking about international depression, isolate and punish China.
Today, folks, when folks, together with Schumer Leader and I, we took action.
I don't understand a word you just said.
Nobody does.
Together with Schumer Leader and I, every time a police officer puts on that shield every morning.
Oh, God. Now, here we go. Here we go. Joe's about to insert himself into every scenario. Just can't let other people have the glory. Can you, Joe? Like all Democrats, they adapt and become all things to all audiences. They got a raggedy behind bootleg story for every group of people they're talking to. So instead of just focusing on the heroes and the folks that suffer tragedy, what does Joe do?
Their husband or wife, whatever it is, or child, worries about will they get that phone call? Will they get that phone call? I got one of those phone calls in a different circumstance.
See? Y'all see what I'm talking about? Oh, man, dude, man. One time I broke my leg, man. Oh, man, that ain't nothing. Shoot, one time I broke both my legs and my hips. Okay, I was just trying to tell you a story about my broken leg. But hey, I just want to tell you about my broken legs and my hips. Okay, yeah. Well, man, I almost cut my fingers off. Man, shoot. Hey, man, I cut mine off right now. That ain't nothing. That's what Joe is. He's that guy that no matter what you say, he's going to one-up you on a tragedy that most of the time he inflates. And then look at this. Where am I going? Awful. Just awful. That's exactly what I see every time I see this guy. And guess what? The whole world does too. Yeah, what the world don't need now is another joke. That's for sure.
You know, the fact of the matter is, if we were able to, which is now beyond the ability to pay for it, but if we're able to straighten out three curves from Washington to New York, you could make it from Washington to New York.
Uh-oh, he done renamed New York to U-Nork. Oh, so all those people watching this show from U-Nork, let me know. That's the new name of it, okay? It's U-Nork. All right, so here we go.
32 minutes.
But wait, there's more.
There's more?
And how about that governor of yours? She's something else.
Where's she from?
She's someone who takes action. She gets things done. New York, you've got 2 days.
2 days?
2 days to make sure the rest of New York knows.
To make sure the rest of U-Nork knows. In U-Nork, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. Yeah, I want to go to U-Nork. Where's that one at? Yeah, I don't want to go to New York. I want to go to U-Nork, okay? There's a new York, okay? It's called U-Nork.
To make sure the rest of New York knows. $6.1 billion in CHIPS funding paired with $125 billion from Micron.
I can't believe they trusted him with numbers. Boy, that was a risk. I know they're like, all right, everybody calm down. Let's see if we can get over the hurdle. We put numbers on the teleprompter. Oh, God, this can go either way, okay? Oh, God, no, he's not going to do that. 1 quadrillion, zillion, billion, zillion, chameleon numbers. But he got through the numbers.
To build these facilities here in New York and near Micron headquarters in Idaho. By the way, it's been mentioned before, it's the single biggest private investment ever in the history of these two states, Idaho and New York.
New York. So now it's called New York. There you go. That's the commander-in-chief. There. Aren't we proud?
Idaho and New York.
Idaho and New York.
4 more years. Pause.
Look at that. The scariest part is that Joe Biden, look at the face. Look at the expression.
What did he do?
He's lost. He has no idea what the hell's going on. Pause. It took him 7 seconds to figure out what that prompter meant.
He didn't even realize he was the butt of all jokes. Yeah, he had no idea he made a mistake. He's like, what? I'm just, you guys are interrupting me reading. Oh, Yeah, I did make a stupid. I made a stupid. Took him that long to realize that, oh, wait, I shouldn't have read that part. And they had to come in and rescue him. Surely somebody was standing there going, 4 more years with a big sign. 4 more years. Come on, go. Go now. Go now. 4 more, because they didn't even come in confident or organically. It was kind of like, should we go now? I mean, he said 4 more years. 4 more years. Unreal.
With pause, which means, of course, stop talking and let these guys do their rehearsed thing where they denigrate themselves and they have to chant 4 more years for you. We don't really believe them. They're going to go vote Trump.
Was this former President Trump make surprise campaign visit to Midtown construction site?
And he's going to talk here about New York City and quality of life issues they say that everyday Americans are dealing with. The Trump team tells us these union workers who are here to talk to the president are paying the price of failed economic policies currently in the country. So the president wants to talk with these people to
USA. USA.
My Lord, we're in much more trouble than I ever thought we were.
And how, Muppet? And how? When they're in New York, a liberal city, and surrounded by union workers, all saying we love Trump. Let's hear from, I guess, the union leader or something like that. See how things are going.
Put out a poll in my union. President Trump is leading Joe Biden 3-1 on my presidential poll out of my 9,000 members right now.
What is going on?
Yeah, y'all, you know what's going on? I thought we did it, Joe. We did it. That's what's going on. Yeah, y'all did it. Y'all pushed all of these people straight into the arms of Trump. Good. Keep doing it. Because what we got to do is show them who brought it to them. That's what's going on.
12 gauge.
Let's see how Joe interacts with the common blue-collar worker. Yeah, the common man, those construction workers. Here's a little video clip of how Joe handles them and how they embrace Joe.
Sometimes, guess what?
Guess what?
I'm not allowed to own any weapon. I'm not taking your gun away.
You're not?
At all. You need 100 rounds.
So when you were in Beto, when you said you're going to take our guns,
I did not say that. That's not true. I did not say that.
It's a viral video.
It's a viral video like the other ones you're putting out there. They're simply a lie.
Your voice.
Seems like Joe want a shot at this man's title. That's what it looks like. Yeah. He don't like being confronted. That dementia is kicking in right about that. And this was on the campaign trail. This was before he was in office. People should have saw the writing on the wall right there. You see the crazy eyes? You see the crazy eyes? I know he want to take a swing at this guy.
You said that you're taking a gun.
Oh, he just clarified it. Wait. The AR-14s.
Y'all hear that one? The AR-14s. So the guy who always is pushing gun legislation, gun restrictions, and all of that, don't even know what certain guns are. The main gun that they always want to get off the shelf. You would think they have that one memorized. Because every single time something happens, we got to get that AR-15. What does he call it? The AR-14s.
Okay, this is not okay. Hold on. All right. Hey, let's
There's
a lot of guys want it.
I'm not working for you, you peasant.
Tired of the situation with groceries,
Okay.
Inflation, gas prices, illegal immigration, crime. We're living it every day in New York City.
Absolutely incredible to see him on the streets of Manhattan, meeting up with, your working class folks here, the type that are out working hard. And
Y'all know I don't like to get emotional on my show. Y'all know. But Democrats bring people together sometimes. Most of the time, they're blowing things apart. But their evilness and their bad policies are somehow bringing folks together. Because one thing everybody could relate to that bridges the gap of white nationalism and white supremacy and xenophobia is crime, your neighborhoods being flooded with illegal immigrants, inflation. Those are things that'll make Bob say, listen, man, let's have us a truce. Okay, I know you're black and all, but man, we both broke, so we might as well join forces. That's what happens. And Democrats did that.
6 a.m. It was my first time ever meeting him, and it was really dope. So,
what's your message to Joe Biden?
My message to Joe Biden: I haven't seen you anywhere. I hope New York turns red because we're not voting for you.
Boy, would that be a sight to see? Man, the best part about that would be watching all the Democrats collapse. They would all fall out like little kids who can't get their way. It's time to go to bed. I don't want to go to bed. You could get your stuff and go upstairs and just fall right on the floor. That's what we would see. They would just fall out if they lose New York. If they lose New York, if they lose Chicago, any of their Democrat strongholds, they would have a fit. And I wonder how they would spin that. Somehow, I guarantee you, all those liberal, normal Democrat voters will suspiciously become white supremacists. There you go. Somehow they would all become puppets of Putin. Somehow they would become Christian nationalists. That's right. They would figure out a way to excuse that instead of accepting their raggedy decisions and policies and owning that mess, just like when they blamed Trump's win on white supremacy and racism. And I'm saying, so wait, Barack Obama won twice, not because of the black vote. So you're telling me all of those white folks that voted for Barack Obama twice, because that's the only way he won, now all of a sudden they got Trump and they're like, finally we get to express all of this white supremacy. We got us the right one, baby. Now unleash it. See, they expect us to be too dumb to think like that. And I'm saying, but you're trying to convince me that white supremacy and racism is the biggest threat. So now, look at this.
What's it like seeing so many Republicans in Manhattan, so many Trump supporters in Manhattan? Does that surprise you?
Now I can tell he's a no-nonsense guy. Go ahead, man. This dude ain't got nothing to lose.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
It's turning now. Trump's turn again. What's your message to Joe Biden? F*** you.
He ain't minced words at all. He dropped that F-bomb. He dropped the bomb on Joe. Baby. Yeah, he dropped the bomb on Joe. Yeah, my man said, F you, and walked off. I wish he had a mic in his hand that he could have slammed. Dropped the mic. Boom. Step back in the B-boy stance. Word. And bounced on him.
God.
Oh, guys. Now, listen, I know sometimes I do a 2-hour show. Sometimes I do an hour and a half. Right now, I'm at 102. And I got about the next half of the show is focusing on the Supreme Court. You know what? I actually got to do some of it because I did advertise that in my thumbnail. So I guess I will start it and we'll see how it goes. But we all know that Trump's popularity has been increasing, not only because of his policies and how bad the Democrats have been, but also because of their response to Trump. Their obvious attacks on him and their efforts to stop this man and them dragging him all through the court system, throwing all of this obvious crap at him. And people are going, don't like it, man. I don't like it. And so their last ditch effort right now is somehow hanging on Fat Albert, Alvin Bragg, and his raggedy case about the Stormy Daniels payment and all that stuff. And they're all pushing these prosecutions and these, these hearings and stuff to go through before November, because that was the goal anyway. It was multiple reasons. One, they need a conviction so they can scare people and say, well, you're going to vote for a person who was convicted of some false crimes that we made up. You're going to do that. But number two is to keep him off the campaign trail, tied up in all of these trials. And then number three is to tap his pockets. And number four is to break his spirit, his will. And they can't do none of that. See, they bring him up there, and then what does he do? Go out in the streets and campaigns and inspires the people. They try to tap his pockets. What does he do? He overcomes that. He's like the Roadrunner, man. And so now all of those cases seem to be falling apart. And the least likely one is the one now they got to all hang their hat on. And the Supreme Court came out and might have thrown a monkey wrench in it. We'll see. So let's go over the latest coming out of the Supreme Court after giving the left a gut punch.
I think it was made clear, I hope it was made clear that a president has to have immunity, you don't have a president, or at most you can say it would be a ceremonial president. That's not what the founders had in mind.
Like we got now? Like the Muppet in the White House? Ceremonial president? Yeah, that guy who can't even read a teleprompter, we already know.
And the justices were on their game. Presidential immunity is imperative, or you practically won't have a country anymore.
They were with him in so many different ways, Julia. It was really riveting.
Here comes the coat. Oh, here comes the coat. Yeah. So CNN, you know they don't like that. They done invested so many hours and manpower into saying the walls are closing in. Trump's finally going to get justice. And you know what? He's guilty. I know they didn't have the trial yet, but we're just going to go ahead and say it anyway. He's guilty. He's guilty. So they done invested all of that. And then the Supreme Court came out and they're like, I'm going to take the case up. We're going to take the case up and discuss it. And it didn't go the way the left was expecting. And now all of their precious fake behind, I guess, accusations and prosecutions might be in jeopardy.
Nearly 3 hours that when it comes right down to it, there are two things that are important here. First, what everyone cares about is what's going to happen to Donald Trump.
Oh, I know. Yeah, see, that's what it is, because it has nothing to do with justice. On the left side, they only care about what's going to happen to Trump. They could swap out any of these cases. It could be jaywalking. They'd be like, it doesn't matter. The goal is Trump. So you can just insert whatever crime in there you want. Yeah, the crime is only a means to an end to stop this man. So, hey, we don't care about the crimes. We care about stopping Trump, period. What'd you say? But you threw bubblegum on the sidewalk or what? They locked the man up? Yeah, felony. Yeah, make up a charge. Do whatever. Just stop this man. So we already know. They're wondering what's going to happen to Trump. Is he gonna get convicted? That's what we really need to happen. Or else all of these fake prosecutions mean nothing if we can't get a conviction before November.
Will he necessarily have a jury trial before the November 2024?
Before. Wonder why they're stressing that, because it's all about justice, right? It's all about just following through and letting it all play out in the courts, because we really just want to get to justice. That's all we want. And justice shouldn't have a timeline on it, should it? Yeah, it shouldn't be on a deadline, should it? I mean, obviously, after November, you're still going to continue to pursue this if the trial takes longer than that, right? You're going to, or are you just going to drop all of that and say, you know what? We tried, it failed. No need to even continue to pursue this garbage, because you shouldn't have pursued it in the first place.
Election. And I think all the signals from this court are that no, this is not going to be an affirmation of the lower court ruling that said that Donald Trump lacked absolute immunity and that he should go to trial. I think what we're headed for here is definitely a reversal and sending it back to lower court. But there was enough back and forth about various issues that would apply to presidents more broadly, that I think this is going to be a very hard decision to write for future presidents. But the bottom line for this president is I just do not foresee a jury trial anytime soon.
Well, yeah. Well. Come on, choir. See, that's what they look like right now. I'm directing the choir. Come on, y'all. Well. Sopranos, come on, y'all. Well. That's what I'm doing. I'm directing the choir. So come on, choir. We got four women? Okay, all right, here we go.
And it is time for the hot topic of the hour. The Supreme Court appearing open to grant immunity to protect former President Trump from prosecution in his civil fraud trial and the so-called hush money case.
Trump escapes the cage. Justice Kavanaugh asked, well, why wouldn't this create a vicious cycle of partisan presidential prosecutions and pardons?
Yeah. And see, just by asking that question, he's letting these fake prosecutors know that we're on to you. We know what this is about. You're setting a horrible precedent. That's why I'm going to pretend that I'm just asking a question, but really what I'm doing is I'm making a statement, an observation. Yeah, I'm letting you know that we know that you guys are doing this for political reasons. So I'm going to go ahead and play dumb. hey, I mean, do you think maybe this could be,
Going forward is that the system will, when former presidents are subject to prosecution, and the history of Morrison versus Olson tells us it's not going to stop. It's going to cycle back and be used against the current president or the next president or and the next president and the next president after that.
But see, Democrats ain't got time to think about those consequences. They'll worry about that when they get to it. The goal right now is to stop Trump at any cost. I mean, retaliation right about now, we can't even think about that because guess what? If we lose this election, the retaliation is coming. So we got to stop this man. Yeah, there it is. Republicans are too weak anyway to follow through if they do get the power. Trump is the factor. It's not the Republicans, dishing it out because they always pretend they're taking the high ground. We're not going to do it like Democrats do and all of that stuff. We can pretty much rely on Republicans to not really stick it to Democrats who deserve it. See, that's the difference. Who deserve it. We can rely on that. But the wild card is Trump. And they're like, man, if he gets in and he puts the right key people in and he gets his hands on that intel community to stop them from undermining, listening in, setting him up, framing him, all the stuff that they did the first time. Then he could turn his attention to how in the world did all these prosecutors just miraculously decide we're going to prosecute Trump on all these bogus charges. Then he could turn his attention to that. Then he could turn his attention perhaps to crooked Hillary and say, wait a minute, how did Brennan, Clapper, Obama, Joe Biden, all of them, how did they all sit in that meeting talking about that fake dossier and nobody tried to stop it? Nobody? Okay, yeah. See, he could turn his attention to those things. Get to the bottom of some of that mess.
The president not having immunity just opens up a Pandora's box.
Like what?
If Trump gets charged, does that mean Bill Clinton gets charged for bombing aspirin factories in Africa? Does Obama get charged for drone striking a U.S. citizen? Can Biden be charged for human trafficking along the border?
Well, that should be the case if they follow through with this, if this mess sticks. But that is only if Republicans, get the power. Because, see, if Democrats get the power, they're never going to play by the same rules. See, perfect example of that is Mayorkas, mucus, that I call him. Now, understand, Trump got impeached twice. Both times, the Republicans had the power in the Senate. What did they do? Pretended that these were legitimate impeachments. There you go. Just for, safekeepings, try to instill a little confidence in our judicial system and our executive slash judicial slash, what is it? What's the other branch? Executive, judicial, and legislative. Yeah. Just to instill a little trust in that, we're going to do what we've traditionally always done. We're going to hear the hearing out. But then when you give the power to the Democrats, who would do anything and stoop to any level and don't give a darn about how it looks or decorum or pass and precedent, they went straight out there and said, we ain't even listening to this mess. You give us the power, we're going to trash all of the norms. Just like they did all of that just to get Trump. Peaceful transfer of power. As they're listening to Trump, tapping his wires, setting him up, and handicapping his whole presidency.
Cocaine possession? Or for his windmills murdering whales? I mean, they're endangered species. That's 1 year per whale. You take away a president's immunity and his free speech, and there's no coming back.
None.
These are all legal Hail Marys to keep Trump chained inside of a cage, away from the campaign trail and away from you, the voter. But good luck keeping him in his cage.
Trump praised the nation's highest court after hearing initial arguments. Watch this.
I think it was made clear, I hope it was made clear that a president has to have immunity. You don't have a president, or at most you could say it would be a ceremonial president. That's not what the founders had in mind.
Tell him, Trump.
The justices were on their game. Presidential immunity is imperative, or you practically won't have a country anymore.
Well, a lot came out of that hearing. SCOTUS also warning the Supreme Court is seeing a, quote, dangerous precedent in Trump's case if presidents can prosecute their political rivals. What?
Yeah, but you think Democrats care about that? Because, see, they're banking on either winning or cheating to win and not having to worry about the repercussions of that. Yeah, they're like, yo, I mean, we all know that this is politically motivated. We all know the White House is hip to it. We got some things on our side to try to go ahead and cover that up and protect our dumb voters from the truth. The media is going to make it seem like this is all justified. And any of our dumb viewers are going to go, yeah, Trump's guilty of all these things. See, once again, it shows that he's above the system. He's trying to beat the system. No, the system's trying to beat him. But thanks to the media, they got a lot of folks thinking Trump's the problem. He's that guilty, that corrupt, It broke all of these laws, 4 indictments, all of these charges, somehow, that none of those bubblehead voters could even break down and explain if you asked them. All right, now what did he do with the hush money thing? He said hush up, and he gave money for somebody to hush up and stuff. And all right, so what about the one up there, down there in Georgia? What's that one about? Oh, that one? That one's about Trump. Didn't he try to stick? Oh man, okay. I'm getting them all confused. They're that way for design. They don't want bubbleheads to be able to say, we're used to being able to identify real crimes and say, okay, that's plain cut and dry. You murdered somebody or you didn't. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You assaulted someone or you didn't. But all of these ambiguous crimes that, yes, it's this and that, they're designed to keep the people ignorant to the fact that they're making this crap up.
Watch this.
The president may be criminally prosecuted by a bitter political opponent.
Like right now?
Will that not lead us into a cycle that destabilizes the functioning of our country?
Now, I love what the POTUS right there is doing. He's basically describing what's taking place right now, and he's doing it in the form of a question. Because he's probably wondering, hey, I wonder if this person's going to blow smoke up my butt when I ask this question. Is he going to pretend that I don't know what's going on right now and answer it rationally? Or is he going to accept the fact that I'm talking about you guys and what you're doing right now? That's what I'm talking about. That means I'm sending you a signal that I'm acutely aware that this is taking place currently. That's the only reason you guys are here, trying to convince us that it's okay to go after the former president. So I'm going to pretend. Couldn't that be? Because I want to hear you justify it.
You can look around the world and find countries where we have seen this process, where the loser gets thrown in jail.
I'm trying to understand.
I love it. I love the way he did that. Yeah, but yet our Democrats who are doing that right now will tell you that we need to protect Ukraine and their borders, and we're protecting democracy over there. And yet that little midget tattoo in Ukraine is doing what the POTUS just said. Throwing his political opponents in jail, folks with religious beliefs throwing them in jail, doing all the stuff that we accuse Pootie of doing, but yet we're throwing them billions of dollars. And then you got Ketanji John Jackson, the one that for some reason don't know what a woman is. Somehow finagled her way right into the Supreme Court. And here's her response.
Understand what the disincentive is from turning the Oval Office into, the seat of criminal activity in this country. Once we say no criminal liability, Mr. President, you can do whatever you want.
I'm concerned.
Now, you already see where she's leaning. She's trying to say, okay, we don't want to set it up to where it's blanket immunity. And I don't think nobody wants that. Nobody wants blanket immunity for the president as if he was a king or anything like that. But what we don't want is we don't want political persecution. We don't want it being weaponized to go after a president who had a legitimate right to do something as the president. But after it's done and he's out of office, just to ensure he can't run again, y'all just go ahead and outsource prosecution to folks who shouldn't even have their knuckles in this. You're outsourcing trying to take down a president to Fat Fanny? You're outsourcing trying to take down a president to Fat Albert? Huh? Yeah, since it's not being done by the Senate and the House, so what you're going to do is weaponize the justice system by calling up some of your raggedy buddies in random states and say, you think you can muster up some Trump charges and stuff? You think you can do that? Yeah, we want to jail him so we can go ahead and win this next election because we can't beat him head to head. That's what it's designed to do. It's stop what we're watching right now. Ketanji, John-G, Janji, Jackson.
About future uses of the criminal law to target political opponents based on accusations about their motives.
I think it's refreshing.
There you go. Yeah, because see, remember, Trump's motive for questioning the you-know-what, it had to be because he just couldn't take the loss. That's what it was. It wasn't because he really believed it. Yeah, he knew he took it to the chin. He knew it. See, and now they want to prosecute him based on them filling in the blanks and saying Trump knew it. He knew it. And that means his motive was to go ahead and try to turn the whole situation around and steal it. But yet at the same time, we can't prove what Crooked Hillary's motive was when it come down to that server in her closet. We can't prove it. Yeah, nobody can tell what her motive was when she smashed Blackberries and bleach spitted all of those devices. We can't prove it. We can't prove Creepy Sleepy's motivation for having all of those classified documents in his crib and other places. We can't prove it. Yeah, it's hard to prove intent, even though this dude confessed, I got these classified documents right here. I want you to go ahead and use for my book. Can't prove intent, though. But we sure can prove Trump's intent. So let's hear what this brother is about to say, because I love his insight.
To see the highest court in the land having a very deliberate conversation on the issues that many people in this country have pushed to the side. Many people have said for a very long time these issues are much larger than President Trump. They have wide-ranging impacts on the veracity of our republic. And so in some ways, it has always appeared that people were willing to damage the institutions that have allowed America to become the envy of the world.
All for political gain. There it is. Mess up the whole system. Destroy the faith in all of this. The envy of all these other countries say, man, I tell you what, America got one of the fairest systems and checks and balances to keep them from turning unto what we're experiencing down here in this banana republic, over here in China, over here in Afghanistan or Iraq. Sure wish we can get over there where they are allowing folks to actually vote for their candidate, not throwing their political opponents in jail. Sure wish we can go there. But now everybody's going, why would I want to go there? I might as well stay where I'm at. They're doing the same thing that's going on over here. And yet we're supposed to be superior and taking a more high ground to Pootie.
By actually trying to go after President Trump in a way that is beyond the pale. And so hopefully we will see them strike that balance between accountability for anyone who holds the office, but also not impugning the office or hamstringing it in such a way that the business of the people and the stability of the world is in many ways compromised.
And, you know, this two systems of justice has been the story for Donald Trump since he walked down the elevator and announced that he was the escalator and announced that he was running for president.
And that is what's ticking everybody off. See, it's one thing to have a discrete two system of justice where you don't quite know why certain people might be getting benefits and others aren't. But when you have someone who obviously is picking favorites, you go into a classroom and watch a teacher do that to the students and see what happens. All right, today all the girls can go ahead and play with the toys and go out to recess. Not you boys, though. Not you boys. You boys got to sit over there and think about it. I want you to write. But we ain't even do nothing. So what? You're boys. I just don't like boys. See what happens. Teacher always giving treats, always excusing certain students from not finishing their homework and punishing others. Watch chaos ensue in that classroom. Yeah, watch every parent show up there like, my kid told me. People do not like to see this type of imbalance when it comes down to fairness. And so, yeah, folks got mad when Trump said, yeah, a lot of black people can relate to this. And I'm like, darn tootin', I'm not a Stephen A. Smith who comes out and says, yeah, that's true. But when the angry mob say, I can't believe you let Trump compare black folks and they plight to what he's going through, I'm going, actually, as a black man, I have never and probably never will be attacked like what I'm seeing happen to Trump. See, I can relate. Matter of fact, I don't know very many black people in the last, I ain't talking about in the deep South back in those days. I'm talking about in the last 30 years, suffered this type of blatant open attacks. Maybe one or two accusations, falsify a little evidence. This man has been being attacked since he got in the White House. Name the black people who have had their phones tapped, their family members gone after, been accused of being a traitor to the country, been impeached twice, been indicted 4 times, have their money stolen, going after their businesses, denied bail, and now you even got to watch out for, every time you eat, somebody take a bite of that for me, please. Just make sure. I don't know. I mean, I trust you and all, but you never know. You never know. I need a professional eater. Take a bite. So Trump has been bombarded with attacks. On top of that, the whole media and all of these organizations and institutions are coming down on him with nothing but hate. Nothing but hate. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to be in issues. I'll take being black. I'll take just being black.
And they've used, things against him, the other side, political enemies that in many cases were not even true. So that's really what the justices are talking about right here. It's been used against Trump.
Yeah, I mean, Again, there are people who hated President Trump, famously, members of Congress talking about impeaching him before he'd even taken the oath of office. Yeah. And from that point forward, it just seemed quite clear to many people that no matter what he did or what he didn't do, they were going to try to find some way to pin a crime on the elephant. And
see, that alone made me mad. You got folks premeditatively saying, we're going to impeach the MFer. Remember that? Remember the bug-eyed chick from Michigan, the one with the Kermit the Frog voice when she cries, you know what, every time, remember that? That chick, Talib, that we're going to go up there and impeach the MFer before she even got in, office. Not to mention Big Cankles, Queen Latifah, up there in New York. Oh, I'm going to be a pain in his butt. I'm going to be digging into his finances. Yeah, that's right. I'm looking forward to every day going into and I'm saying, and you're allowing this chick to prosecute Trump. How in the world does that make sense? And where the heck are the Republicans? They should have shut that mess down on that premise alone. The fact, you think if a Republican prosecutor won and started saying before he got in, y'all put me in and I am going to go after Joe Biden, period. They don't say why. They don't say here's the crimes. They don't say here's the evidence. It's just, I'm going after him, period. Just because he's evil. Going after him. And then they get elected and they go after him. Do you think the Democrats wouldn't do everything they can to stop that prosecution? They would be like, shut that mess down. But not our Republicans.
So now we have this issue here with the president, at least outside that courthouse, talking about what many of us have said, that the Supreme Court is that last bastion and remains that last bastion to ensure the brinksmanship of our politics doesn't overrun the purpose of the country.
And whatever stands in the way of the radical Marxist left, it got to get tore down. Anything that keeps them from total power has to get destroyed. And that includes the Supreme Court. That Supreme Court is a pain in their butts. That's the only place they have not been able to co-opt it. They want their hands on that Supreme Court so bad they can taste it. They want to control anything that they could use as power or destroy anything that threatens their power. They do it by attacking it verbally. They do it by trying to change it up and stack it in their favor. Look at Elon Musk. They all love Twitter when Jack Dorsey was running it and allowing them to use it for nothing but propaganda and censorship. But when you get the Musk who took over, now all of a sudden burn it down, destroy it. If we can't control it, nobody will. And they were willing to do that with the whole country when Trump was in office. They were willing to try to encourage a full-blown war when Trump was in office. They're like, you know what? I don't care if we go to war and kids and young adults get killed and soldiers get killed. We need this stuff to happen to make Trump look bad. Like he's reckless, he's dangerous, and all of that. So what? We need a pandemic? We need one of those to help us win this next one. So wait, people will die? So what? So what? It's worth it. It's worth it. China, help us out, Xi. Of course, Joseph Biden. We will send you the Wuhan virus along with that $1.5 billion deal. So now all of a sudden, up jumped the boogie. And then on top of that, lock us down in the cribs, take our kids out of school, force things into our bodies. Democrats, man.
Yeah, and I was happy to hear that the Supreme Court justices are talking this out. Meanwhile, John, House Judiciary Republicans say that Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg and the DA's office, quote, allowed political motivations and animus to infect its prosecutorial discretion.
But wait a minute, Maria Bartimaeus. We've been hearing from the fake news. No, there's no evidence. Every time people say they coordinated this with these fake prosecutors, no, there's no evidence. I'm going to have to stop you right there. There's no evidence. So shouldn't this all be blown up based on that fact alone? Same thing with Fat Albert. Who else? Let me see. Fannie Willis. Yeah, she had her little meeting up there with her boyfriend, Nathan. And then, of course, Queen Latifah. All of them. Jack Smith. All of them. So now they want us to suspend our common sense and pretend to play dumb like we don't know this was all coordinated. Just because they get up there going, no, there's no evidence. My common sense is the evidence. The fact that Joe Biden was talking about, we're going to stop him and use all the means we have to stop him from becoming, that let me know.
In the Trump so-called hush money case, Chairman Jim Jordan says ex-New York prosecutor Mark Pomerantz put, quote, public pressure on Bragg to actually charge Trump. We know that this was overlooked many times, and yet Bragg went forward with it. John, your reaction?
Yeah, this is pretty sad. It's a sad commentary in the current state of justice in the United States. There is no way in the world that this case would now be occurring in New York were it not for the fact that Donald Trump is currently running for president.
There it is.
When you start to politicize justice, you're getting on a very wrong track for the U.S. This could come back to haunt us at some point in the future.
But they're taking a gamble, a calculated risk. It's an acceptable risk to them. Matter of fact, it's a necessary risk. They're sitting there saying, man, you know what? Trump's going to put his foot up our butt if he wins. So right now, it's no time to be discreet. No time to worry about the fallout and the consequences. Because if we lose, we're still going to get it anyway. He's still going to put his foot up our butts and unwind all of our corruption and progress we made to usher our country into globalism. He's going to unwind it. So we got to go for it and let the chips fall where they may. And that is why they're boldly and obviously attacking Trump through the justice system.
Yeah. What happened to the scales of justice, I don't know anymore. It depends whether or not somebody likes you or whether or not you represent the right political party.
Yeah, terrible. And I'm happy to see that the Supreme Court is actually looking at it.
Well, I think the key point is what's the crime here? So this was something done a long time ago, but there's no crime that Alvin Bragg has alleged. In fact, this case is so weak that no one wanted to bring it. The Department of Justice looked at the same fact pattern. They didn't want to bring a case. The Federal Elections Commission didn't want to bring.
Shh. Okay. Everyone be quiet. I'm looking for the wily and elusive crime. Okay. So far, I haven't seen one, but I'm still looking, I have to be careful because it's an angry little bugger. It's hard to find the fake crime. That's what it is. It's hard to find a fake crime. So now this man got Trump in court over something. He's like, all right, we're here to settle the case of Trump and something he did. The prosecution is accusing him of stuff and for reasons. And for the most part, Trump did all kind of stuff that people shouldn't do. And therefore, okay, that's my opening statement. Thank you. You can't tell us what he's in there for? Crikey.
Bring a case, didn't bring a case. Alvin Bragg's predecessor, Cy Vance, didn't bring a case.
Nope.
And even when Alvin Bragg got elected, even though he said he had went after President Trump 100 times, when he gets elected, he doesn't bring the case because it's so weak. There's no real crime here.
Until they called him and said, hush up, boy. Look here. What do you think all that Soros money is for? Get your butt up there and you make up a crime. I'm on it.
wasn't until Alvin Bragg's assistant prosecutor, Mark Pomeranz, resigns, throws a fit, does media interviews, and writes a book that the public pressure got so big on Mr. Bragg that he decided to resurrect what they called the zombie case and bring it forward. So there's no crime here. They're saying that this was all part of some conspiracy to impact the 2016 election. Well, for goodness sake, that was 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
No crime here, and I think the country sees it. And then finally, I would say, their star witness is Michael Cohen, a convicted perjurer who came in front of Congress and lied several times. That's their star witness. Everybody understands there is no case here. So,
wow. So Fat Albert makes up a crime while overlooking all of the crimes in New York. All right, so right now this is our main priority. Not those people getting pushed over in the third rail in the subways. Right? We have no time for them. Not all the women being sucker punched by men for some reason. What kind of mess is that? What kind of demon is up there in New York that anointed crazy people to just start saying, you know what, I think for some reason this is a good idea. I'm just going to punch women for no reason. Unreal. And yet you got Fat Albert making up crimes. Guess what, Fat Albert? I don't have to wonder what took place when I see a person get punched in the face. That's a crime. Yeah, you don't have, it ain't vague. It's obvious. There you go. I saw it with my eyes. That guy just sucker punched that woman. That's a crime. But now all of a sudden, Trump, he paid money for something by somebody. The Cohen with Michael Cohen. That was the guy who was lying. The one that his lawyer even said he was lying. Okay, all right. So, let me start over. Yeah, I have a hard time being able to recognize this crime. But when I see people getting pushed into the subway, into the rails and get ran over, I can go, now that's a crime. You should focus your attention on stuff like that, Fat Albert. Unreal.
So they can keep trying all this. They've tried it for 8 years. I always point out they spied on his campaign in 2016. Then it was the Mueller investigation. Then it was impeachment. Then it was raiding President Trump's home. Then it was Jack Smith. And then it was Fonnie Willis, Alvin Bragg. Then it was the 14th Amendment. And now they got an actual trial where they're drudging up things that aren't really crimes to try to get this guy and keep him from off the campaign trail. But I don't think it's working. I think as evidenced by the fact he's winning or even in all 7 of the swing states.
Wow, Jimmy, so that's it? That's all they've done so far? Now, that's not too much, is it? That's not overkill, is it? That's not making folks that might not have been paying attention to all of this become suspicious. Democrats don't know how to do things discreetly or modestly. They always go so over the top that they think more is better. See, it's like this one guy who salsa dances, and I call him OT for over the top. He knows a whole bunch of moves, and he used all his moves during every dance, showing off, look how many moves I got. Look how many moves I got. To the woman looking at him like, why don't you just go ahead and show off and do your own things, okay? I thought we were dancing together, but I see you're going through all the moves. And they don't even look smooth. Don't even look smooth. I'm going, you're over the top. Yeah, I'd rather you focus on just a couple nice, cool moves, work on your style. Yeah. Show them that, you funky, and then let it roll. Space the moves out. But you dump them all on one dance. Same thing with the Democrats. All right, how many indictments are there? 4? You think that's enough? You think the people they won't recognize we're doing this on now. Okay, so maybe 8? 8 will do it. How many women that we're going to find and dig up and say that Trump did something to? Only 2 or 1? No, that's not enough. How about we go get 12? Oh, wait, no. Brett Kavanaugh only has 1, Blasé Ford. You know what? Yeah, that's that right there. I don't think people will believe that. Let's go with he's a gang, you know what is. He ran a sex trafficking ring in high school. I think that right there will fly. That'll make everybody start going, now that sounds a little more stupid. That's what it sounds. It makes me go, now you know what? You might have had me at Blasé Ford, but now you're saying he's a gang sex trafficker. Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, Liz, I think the most extraordinary thing today was that some of the justices seemed to take it as a given that the Department of Justice, prosecutors, and grand juries could be trusted to be politically neutral when it comes to prosecuting someone like a former president of the United States.
Yeah, like Ketanji John Jackson. Yeah. So I guess what? You're not able to take in consideration that this this looks political and we got a whole bunch of random DAs coming up with bogus charges that they just woke up and decided, I think I should go after Donald Trump because something tells me he overpriced his businesses, his real estate. Something told me that. There you go. I better look into it. Well, wait, who told you that? Oh, the Force. The Force told me that. Satan told me that. That's who told me. Because surely, you didn't have any reason to just look into his business affairs without a predicate, did you? Surely you didn't have that. Yeah. So a little birdie told you, called Satan.
And I think that if you just look around the country, here in Atlanta, you looked in Florida, in New York, and in D.C., I don't see why any of the justices of the Supreme Court should be comfortable that you've got neutral prosecutors. Certainly the New York case shows very clearly you don't. There's not even a crime there. And I think the justices of the Supreme Court should really slap that down. And they should not be taken as a given that these entities are not political.
Yeah. And that's what the Supreme Court should have did right there on the spot. Now, some of them try to do it discreetly by asking the questions to let those folks know, we know what you're doing. But then you get Ketanji Jackson and maybe even another one. I didn't listen to all of them, but trying to focus more so on the extreme side of things. Like, all right, now we don't want to set up a complete immunity here where you can just become a criminal in the office like Obama and like Joe Biden. We don't want to set that up now, do we? Nobody's looking for that. But we're trying to make sure what is taking place right now doesn't happen to any other presidents. And the crazy part about it, if there ever was a president who needs that to be done to him, it's Joe Biden and Obama, probably Bill Clinton and some others.
The Supreme Court did appear open to a middle ground on presidential immunity. Sam, that's what we heard today. What do you think? What does that mean, a middle ground?
I think the middle ground is to say that core official acts are immune and then to send it back for a finding on what is an official act. There was reference to Blazingate and an opinion by Judge Castis, and that may be the rubric they used. I just want to detail, though, on what Fauci said. The extraordinary nature of this case isn't just in the reliance on the jury. It was also the Department of Justice position. Michael Dreeben is a great lawyer, but he was pressed, and he said, well, yeah, obviously there's immunity for a core act like appointments. And then he was asked, well, wait a second. That was charged. And he had to say, well, yeah, this case is different. This is the one case that is different. And I think that gave away the game. The Department of Justice is attempting to create a regime to fit one man, President Trump.
Well. There you have it. And we all know it. We all know it. They done made all kind of exceptions and rules to go ahead and fit just Trump. They tailor-made it for Trump. Now, I only got less than 15 minutes. I'm out of here at 9, y'all. I'm out of here now. So we're going to try to get through it. We're almost done. So I might have to let some of these clips roll a little longer and then comment after that.
Okay, so the way it seems to be breaking down, the liberal justice is skeptical of absolute immunity, the conservative justice moving the other way. We're talking...
Thank God we got the majority. Yeah. Conservative justices got enough common sense to say, we see you guys are trying to destroy everything folks died to make this country into. We see it. Because if y'all get away with this, the country as we know it is over. If y'all are able to do this, I mean, I don't even know how you reverse it if they can get away with this. So you got the liberal justices are trying to play dumb and say, well, do you think that's going too far? Nobody's asking for free reign to be evil. But we're trying to stop evil. We're trying to stop people from abusing the system and punishing their political opponents.
Justices Neil Gorsuch, Samuel Alito, Brett Kavanaugh, Clarence Thomas, Chief Justice John Roberts. He appeared to be looking for an off-ramp to send the case back down to the trial court. That will delay it past the election. Let's take a listen to what the justices said. Watch.
If an incumbent who loses a very close, hotly contested election knows that a real possibility after leaving office is not that the president is going to be able to go off into a peaceful retirement, but that the president may be criminally prosecuted by a bitter political opponent. Will that not lead us into a cycle that destabilizes the functioning of our country as a democracy. So
yeah, I'm glad you act like that was a question and not a statement. Because if that's the case, let's go get Obama. There you go. Definitely got to get Creepy Joe. Got to get him soon as Trump gets back in. All right, you know what? Throw him in jail.
What about President Franklin D. Roosevelt's decision to intern Japanese Americans during World War II? Couldn't that have been charged under 18 U.S.C. 241?
Now, I want to see how these corrupt people in the Department of Justice is going to explain all of that stuff that other presidents did. But remember, guys, Trump's different. Yeah, there's special rules for Trump. Other presidents could take home classified documents, but not Trump. See, he's different. All right. So how do you explain that? How do you get away with saying, all right, yeah, all these people should have been probably technically prosecuted if they're going to be playing by the rules we're trying to set. But now I got to come out here and try to say, oh, well, that's different because Trump's evil and he did evil things and we know his heart. See, we know his heart. But those other people, they had a kind heart when they put all those Japanese people in those concentration camps. We were able to figure that their heart was kind.
Conspiracy against civil rights.
It seems to me there is some area you concede that an official acts that Congress cannot criminalize. And now we're just talking about the scope.
Yeah.
Francie, take on what you just heard.
Well, I agree with the justices there, and that is what happened during the argument. I think it was rather extraordinary that you had Michael Dreeben had to concede that there are some cases where the president has immunity. I think in this case, though, what's going to happen is it will get sent back down to the judge. The judge is going to have fact findings. That means witnesses and hearings.
All of that.
Make a decision, and it'll go right back up to the Supreme Court
all
again.
Of that.
Where they'll
wait a minute, lady. Nobody wants to hear that if you're on the left, because you know what that means? It's all irrelevant if it doesn't take place before November. You're busting our bubble. We're on a time limit here, people. Hurry it up. And that's why they hate the Supreme Court justice right now, because they're not giving them what they want. See, because if this was all liberal activist judges, they would have fast-tracked this mess.
There'll be lots of disputes and more oral argument. This isn't going to trial anytime soon.
1 day's left on the clock.
And here comes the clowns. Let's see how they're all doing after all their efforts to try to get this stuff to take place before November. Let's see how they're coping.
81 more days for trial preparation, even after the case is returned to her. Now, that would provide her with time to make decisions, say, about the distinction between what acts were official and can't be used.
Wait, is that a sign in the back that says CNN sucks? Boy, do they ever. All right, but let's hear them.
What acts were private and can be used. But beyond that, even if the decision is made, and I think Neil's assessment is a very good one. Obviously, you count votes better than anybody else. If this case goes to trial on a theory that says that only private conduct can be the basis for a prosecution, there are difficult evidentiary issues that the justices hinted at in the argument today. Michael Dreeben, arguing for the special counsel, wants to be able to use evidence of official acts like decisions about who can be the attorney general.
Wow, this sounds complicated. This right here sounds convoluted. This doesn't seem like something that can be worked out before November. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. See, we're going to go ahead and have to sort all this out until after November. So at that point, they're going to go, oh, phooey. Never mind then. It ain't even worth it now. I ain't going to do all that work for nothing. The whole goal. Notice they're all talking about that. We don't think this could take place before November. Why does the date even matter? See, that's the question I have. Why are y'all even talking about a date? Because we're pursuing justice. That's all we're doing. It shouldn't matter about the dates, right?
Or the pressure campaign against Mike Pence as evidence of Donald Trump's knowledge and intent. Important testimony.
And look at this. Look at this rhino. This Renault. Yeah, trying to save her own life because you know she was involved in all of this conspiracy crap too. Especially on that J6 committee. Yeah, so she is going Supreme Court. What y'all doing now? What y'all doing, man? So let's listen to the fake Republican get up here and try to pressure the Supreme Court into hurrying it up. I'm going to get in trouble if this man get back in.
Grand jury has heard, according to press reports, that that the public hasn't. And the idea that the January 6th trial would be delayed until after the election, you know, in my view, it just can't be the case.
Because it's going to get me in trouble. In my view, from my perspective, just trying to probably stay out of getting prosecuted myself, it's going to be damning to me. They're excluding evidence, you know what I'm saying, altering evidence, sharing evidence with these prosecutors, all in an attempt to get Trump. It might come back to bite me. So it's not about the American people. It's about these people trying to save their own butts. They were willing to prostitute themselves and get on board with these Democrats and these globalists and concoction all of this mess. And now it ain't going like they thought it would go. And they're worried. And so she's coming out now going, hurry it up now. Going to try to make it seem like, oh, the Supreme Court is not doing its job. And I think it's very important that they do this before November. Before November. Wonder why. November's the magical date.
That a president can attempt to steal an election.
Here we go, another lie.
To seize power, and we can't hold him to account.
No, we should be holding you to account for making this big fat lie up. See, because what you're accusing him of is insurrection, being a traitor. That's what you're doing. By concoction and all this fake mess, coordinating stories, changing stories of the girl, the clavicle girl, the one that was up there talking about, I wasn't there. But I heard through somebody who once heard and ran across somebody that was on the corner one time that knew somebody that worked in the White House about what Trump did in The Beast, where he starts judo chopping all the Secret Service and ripped out a clavicle. Oh, wait, he didn't rip it out completely? He just grabbed him? Okay, so he grabbed him by the clavicle and almost choked him unto death. That's what it happened. Yeah, because Liz Cheney helped me with my story. Yeah, she don't want this all to come back on her. So now she's pushing for early trial before November. Hurry up, y'all.
Until after the next election. I think that the Supreme Court...
Oops, crap. What just happened? Oh, my bad. Hey, we didn't come this far to, because we're going to end with that cat with the big afro. All right, wait a minute. Okay.
Here that there are certain areas where...
Come on, right about there.
I think that the Supreme Court may well
get me in trouble.
You know, have wanted to be clear that there are certain areas where a president might enjoy immunity. For example, you know, commander-in-chief acting during a time of war. And that may be why they took the case. Right. But I think it's crucially important that they rule quickly and decisively.
Why is she doing that? But see, this shows how scared they are. All you have to do is watch them and listen to what they're talking about and advocating for. It is crucial that they convict Trump before November. And she's pretending that, oh, no, I'm just saying that for the people. Now, you are a fool. You shouldn't have a dog in this fight. See, that's the thing. After you're out of office, go somewhere and sit down. Are you worried about Trump coming after you? Why are you out there still pushing this? Yeah, your job is done. But for some reason, you're going, oh, yeah, we need to do something quick before November. That means you're probably implemented in this as well. Implemented? Implicated? Implicated. I think that's the word. So let's continue.
That no circumstance under which a president's actions would be protected by immunity exists here. No president can attempt to do what Donald Trump did and enjoy immunity for that.
What did he do? See, that's the question. What did he do? Yeah, if you just simply ask these people, what did he do? He tried to overthrow the election. How? By saying he didn't believe the results. That's overthrowing, because every single Democrat said the same thing. So please elaborate a little more. Oh, you want more details? Yes. He went over and told them to walk over and let their voices peacefully be heard. Oh, that's the coup you're talking about? Okay, maybe let me try this one. He offered 10 to 20,000 additional troops to stop anything like that from happening, and it was turned down by Nancy Pelosi and Mayor Bowser. I know that I probably shouldn't have said that, because that doesn't make him look like he was trying. You know what? I'll come up with something. Yeah, he tried to rip somebody's clavicle out. Yeah, there you go. Now, so let's impeach him. So now we're going to end with the folks who work hard for their money, MSNBC, that has no bounds. Now, see, these are the prostitutes that come out on the corner almost completely naked. That's right. That's how much they prostitute themselves. Yeah, they like let it all hang out. Starting off with big face, round apple head, Joy Reid, and of course, Professor Clump / Bookman with that big fat cloud sitting on top of that big fat head. So let's hear what they got to say about this before we bounce.
Ellie, because it spoke my soul and I reposted it on Threads. Hopefully everyone will read it all there or on The Nation. You wrote this and this spoke my whole spirit. At this point, people who expect anything less than the maximum partisan thuggery possible from the Republican justices are not paying attention, or worse, they're actively lying to themselves and the American people about what the Roberts Court has become.
So here we go. The final stage, go after the institutions that are stopping us. We must control them, take control of them, or destroy them. Launch a hit campaign on the Supreme Court right now. Label them whatever you need to label them. Send out Q-tip head, thank you. Send out Professor Clump. Send out no neck, baby Baluka looking. Send that guy out.
The question has long since ceased being whether the court will help Trump. The question is only how it will go about doing it.
Wow.
Can we speak as adults for a second?
Oh, boy, here we go. Can we speak as adults for a second? Here it comes. See, remember, they're bubble wrapped because they're black. Yeah, you didn't know that? You get bubble wrapped if you're black and you're on MSNBC. So now they can get out there and hurl all kind of accusations of racism, sexism. The Supreme Court is evil and corrupted, and nobody can say anything. Because he's fat, black, and he's bubble wrapped.
Please. Because nothing that happened today with the Supreme Court being in the tank for Donald Trump is surprising to you.
No.
It's not surprising to me.
What is surprising to me is how in the heck you didn't cut that big gray puffball off the top of your head that seems like it's blowing in the wind. What kind of hairstyle is that, man? Okay. It only adds to your bigness. Dang, you can't have a big body and big hair at the same time? What's wrong with you? At least cut the hair, make you look a little slimmer, but not this guy. Yeah. So let's go ahead and finish hearing this guy act like he's upset and mad at the Supreme Court.
It's not surprising to your viewers at home. You know why? Because we're not stupid.
Yes, they are. See, that's the funny part about that. The irony in this. It's not surprising to your viewers at home. You know why? Because we're not stupid. And in reality, all of their viewers are, if they're watching MSNBC, seriously. See, I ain't talking about farts and giggles like we do. I ain't talking about watching MSNBC just to clown them and joke and expose how corrupt and how much their propaganda network. No, I'm talking about where they're sitting there going, hey, hon, come look at this. Did you see that? Trump's getting off again. I tell you, man, this Supreme Court, they're all in for it for Trump. That's what it is, you know. Did you know? Yeah, did you know he also sold his properties? He inflated those. That's crazy, isn't it? He's always beating the system. He's a white nationalist. Hey, he called for a bloodbath a couple weeks ago. Yeah, he was telling everybody to take a bath in blood. Unbelievable, this guy. If you're watching that and you're believing these people, yeah, you are stupid. That's the irony of it all.
All right? Donald Trump called his shot months ago. He said, my Supreme Court justices will never let this happen to me. And he was absolutely right.
So let's listen to his Marxist solution. He's about to say the truth out loud, what the left wants to really do.
So with that information, my question to the American people is now, what are you prepared to do?
So wait, sounds like you're inspiring an insurrection, pal. Sounds like you're encouraging some type of potential violence. When you start talking about, look how evil they are. So what y'all gonna do about it? That's what that sounds like to me. Where's the feds? Somebody get me my satellite phone. Hello, is this Christopher Ray? I got a report. I want to report some. Hello? Okay, hold on for a second. Let me call back. Christopher Ray? Yes, I like to support some white nationalists right here. They're over here in a church parking lot. And they're talking about abortion. We're on our way. Yeah, we're going to be sending a chopper and everything. That's odd. So the man who gets up here talking about the Supreme Court is compromised and asking the people, so what y'all gonna do about it? So what do you say we do about it, Professor Clump? Yeah, but if it was a grandma who happened to be walking outside the Capitol. They're sending everybody and backup.
Because the Supreme Court has exposed itself as a partisan institution
They exposed itself as being the last institution that has not been co-opted by the left. And what you're doing is exposing that to be true by going after it. If you ever want to know what is a threat to the Democrat and their agenda, is all you got to do is see how much evil converges upon it. That lets me know that's one area that they're not able to control yet. Just like X, formerly known as Twitter, they're all attacking it for some reason. Just like Trump. That's what made my eyebrow go up. I hit him with the Steve Austin, the Bionic Man eyebrow. Soon as all of them started attacking Trump. When he first said he was running, I'm going, wait a minute, this is odd. Why are all these folks converging upon this man? So let's finish because he's about to give us the solution to what needs to happen.
of hacks that will do everything in their power to protect Donald Trump and make sure that a Republican can be elected, not just in the next election, but in every election going forward.
Well, look at that. Not just in the next election, but every election moving forward. So, the real Fat Albert right here, the real Buff Love. I wonder how many sandwiches he got stored in that afro. That's what I want to know. So now the guy with no neck got the nerve to be out here talking about the Supreme Court justices are trying to set it up for not only this election, but for Republicans to be elected in the future. So I guess the alternative is to remove the Republican Party, make sure they can't be elected, make it a uniparty. Sounds like a banana republic. Sounds like Marxism. That's what that sounds like. I wonder if they were able to beep him out before he said that. Oh God, you can't say that out loud. Now they'll all be hip to what we really want. A uniparty.
Yeah, no, I mean, so what are we going to do about that? And my answer to that, obviously, is that you cannot do anything in this country unless you expand the Supreme Court, take away their power.
Take away their power. He don't like that separation of power, just like the Democrats. So expand it for our benefit, meaning bend the rules so we could win. Stack the rules up so it's in our favor. Now, you think if the Supreme Court was ruled by liberals, you think he'd be talking about we need to expand the Supreme Court? He'd be going, these people are breaking all of our norms. They want to go beyond 9 Supreme Court justices. It's been like that forever. Now look at them. They just want to do it so they could. But now all of a sudden, expand it to what? Just until y'all get more liberal judges on the court and then shut it down. Oh, that's it. Stop. We're good. Yeah, we're up 5. We're up 5. I think that's good. We're good. Okay. Now let's write it into law that it can never be expanded again. Now that we have the majority. Okay. That's exactly what he wants. And then he got the nerve to say, remove his power. So this legal scholar right here, this constitutionalist, this guy right here, he wants one of the main balances of power to be emasculated, neutered.
And as you say, start removing some of these conservative justices who have already exposed themselves as criminals and liars.
Criminals and liars. Can he be sued for defamation? Trump called Stormy Daniels a liar. They tried to sue him for defamation. Trump calls Eugene Carroll, who is crazy, bat crap crazy, and a liar, and they sued him. This cat with that cotton ball on top of his head said they're liars and criminals. He just called Supreme Court justices criminals and liars. Nobody ran up in that studio and tried to handcuff those big behind wrists. All right, we're going to need the extra size handcuffs. That's what they need to do. But this guy's up here talking about they're criminals and liars.
And in a sense, also perjurers before the United States Senate, when they got up and said stare decisis and lied about respecting precedent when it came to Roe v. Wade, lied to the faces of senators and got away with it. Professor Yoshino, today, Elena Kagan, and again, I'm just listening to this as a regular schmuck. Okay.
And you are a schmuck. Yeah, you are a regular. No, you're not even a regular one. You're irregular. Yeah, you're beyond just a regular schmuck. Okay. Yeah. So here she is trying to act like she. You see that look on her face? Yeah, I'm sure that's her natural color. You see that? See her natural color? Yeah. Looks like she missed the spot around the eyes. Yeah, for some reason. Yeah, maybe she's a white woman under all of that, pretending to be pro-black. Yeah, the blonde hair gives it away. Let's continue.
Okay, I'm not a lawyer, although I hang out with them on TV. But even listening to it, I didn't even hear them try on the conservative side to make a constitutional argument.
I didn't hear them try to lock Donald Trump up and make sure that we can go ahead and pursue this guy for stupid stuff. Because we've been trying forever. Yeah, you just undermined all of our efforts. And we've been attacking Trump for nothing. Just a couple weeks ago, I said accuse him of being God.
Once or twice they said Marbury versus Madison just to make it look good, like they did their homework. But they weren't even trying to pretend that they had some basis in the Constitution for what they were saying. They were just saying, well, maybe if we remanded, how would this help us? They were literally just trying to help Trump's lawyers with the case, to the point where Elena Kagan got the Trump lawyer to admit that he thought staging a coup would be illegal. Your thoughts?
Yeah, that was actually, you're hitting the nail on the head, because that was the most alarming part of the oral arguments.
Yeah, y'all, as we close out, they all sad and stuff. Now they got the guy with no bass in his voice who's talking out of his nostrils. Yeah.
So this parade of horribles that the liberal justices and some of the conservative justices were putting before Trump's lawyer.
So fake news got Fat Albert on their network whining with that Q-tip on top of his head, and they got a guy with no bass in his voice talking out of his nostrils. Let's finish. Hear what he got to say.
He was completely unfazed by that. So this kind of normalizes extremism. So as many of your viewers will recall in the DC circuit, the killer question that Judge Florence...
Okay, this is just for you. You need some bass in the voice. You need some bass in your voice. Come on, now, bass in the voice. That's what you need. Up here talking out those nostrils. And see, right there.
Florence Pan, right, asked John Sauer, Trump's lawyer, was if the president ordered SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political opponent, would that individual would the president be liable criminally? Right? To which the answer is, of course, yes, they would. Right?
Yes, they would. I need some bass in that voice. Come on. Some bass in the voice. Come on. That's what you need. Somebody, hold on for a second. Hello? Yes. Is this the music store? Yes. I'd like to order some bass. No, not the kind of bass that we dance to. I need some bass for somebody's voice. Yeah, somebody stole his. I need some bass in that voice. Come on, some bass in the voice. Somebody go order some bass for this man's voice.
Right, no one is above the law, right? But John Sauer's answer was, well, it depends on whether he was impeached and then convicted. Right? And so at that point, my jaw's on the floor because I think that is...
Your jaw should be on the floor because you ain't got no bass in the voice. Come on, no bass in the voice. Yeah, it's hard to keep your jaw up when you ain't got no bass in your voice. I'm sorry. And I got totally distracted by the bass in the voice song that I just made up.
It's like an insane reading of the impeachment clause, the impeachment judgment clause, but it's also like a very, very weird, response that goes right to the right.
Why does he have like, a 17-year-old snooty high school girl's voice when he talks and stuff like that?
Most edge, right, of political extremism. So I thought he's going to clean it up when he gets to the Supreme Court. He's going to practice this. He's going to move this. He's going to do it over and over again. Justice Sotomayor asked exactly that same question of like what happens. And then he said, the same answer. Like the president would have to be impeached and convicted first.
Now, I'm not saying he's gay, because I don't stereotype. But what I am saying, he needs some bass in the voice. Come on, bass in the voice. Bass in the voice. That's what he needs. He sounds like a valley girl. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, like, gag me with a spoon and
And basically, at that point, Ellie and I were talking about this before, I thought this guy has made a bet. He's made a bet that if he just survives in the district court and the appellate court, he's going to be in front of a much more friendly audience, and he can make that argument, and they will buy it.
So, me. The fake news is mad because the Supreme Court justice have messed up their plot to stop Donald Trump. And I don't care. Thank you. I will be playing here for the next 2 minutes. Here we go.
And or throw him a lifeline. And sure enough, Justice Alito said, well, of course, that hypothetical is complicated because SEAL Team 6 has to obey the law. Like, unlike the president, SEAL Team 6 has to obey the law.
Yeah, I like the president. Yeah, they got to laugh to keep from crying. Because the Supreme Court blew up their whole situation. And I hope they continue to blow it up. I hope they push that mess back for a year or two to where they even forget about it. After a while, they're not even going to be talking about it. You already know. They're going to be sitting back going, you know what, it's not worth talking about because the whole goal and objective was to try to stop the election from happening. It was election interference. Now that right there is off the table because these charges might not even be heard until after November, I'm sure all those prosecutors will drop it. And they're all going to go and move on to the next thing. Oh, crap. Now we got to get him. Yeah, let's wait until he's in office and he will come up with something else. See, so we weren't able to stop him from getting in. Now we concoction up something else as he's in the office. Well, now he's in. Let's go back with Putin. Let's run that one back. He's hanging out with Putin again. And that's the only reason he won. But I tell you what, though, I'm going to go ahead and order some bass for that voice. That's what I'm going to do. I need to order some bass for that voice. Dang on it. See, open it up. Somebody sent me a package. Hey, what's happening? I'm bass. Oh, my God. Bass for your voice. Oh, my. Yeah, that's what he needs. Open up the box of bass. Sign from Kevin. Kevin's Corner. I sent you some bass for your voice. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. My mess around almost caught a cramp on my leg dancing around talking about some bass in the voice. Sheesh, got to start stretching before I do my show. Boy, I tell you, boy, I sure did have fun. It was worth it. It's worth the cramp. And I don't mind if I pull a muscle making fun of these folks. So make sure you hit the like button, share my videos. Thanks for all those that participated in the super chat. Let's see. Check out my alternative channel, Kevin's Corner. Well, actually, it's called Stop and Think About It. And follow me on X, on Twitter, on wherever else. If you're not following me on YouTube, please follow me there. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure your notifications are turned on. And make sure you're still subscribed because they are always unsubscribing people against their knowledge and against their will because they don't love Kev. They do not love Kev. They don't like me over making fun of their friends. So thanks for hanging out. Those who want to contribute to the channel, you can do that because I do have a Cash App and a PayPal link below the videos. And you can also check out Kevin's Corner Store. Now, with that being said, somebody's here, guys, who heard me about to wrap things up. And so, since it's the weekend, Gizmo, yes, there you go. Yeah, what are you doing, buddy? Give him the yawn. There you go. There you go. Oh, boy, I don't know why he does that every time I pick him up. Yeah. So we'll see y'all next time in Kev's Corner. Let's bounce, man. Oh, yeah. I got some bass in my voice. Some bass in my voice. This is awesome. Yeah. I know you see the 8. I know you see the 11 0. Take care.